Hey guys, Paul from paulniger.com. I wanted to intro my blog for this week, and we're talking about our emotions, and more specifically we're talking about one emotion, and that is anger. You know, we go through different bouts of emotion throughout our entire lives, you know, and some of them we celebrate, others we shy away from, we're shameful, and we try to hide them, we try to repress them. And anger, you know, well, depression is one, anxiety is another, but anger is one of those emotions that creates a scene, and it creates a destruction, you know, and it leaves a path of its destruction. And, you know, people can follow and they're like, oh, when they find that path or where it leads to, they find you and they're like, man, this person's an angry individual. So we don't want that. So how do you overcome that? Because like we're taught that, you know, we're meant to express these emotions, not repress them. And that's true. You should express your emotions. You celebrate them as you do life, like, because every part of those emotions is an expression of life and being human, and we are meant to learn from each one of those emotions. But the thing is, with anger or any emotions, if you go too deep in it, it's hard to come out. So a person that acts out in an anger to high intensity is more likely to be angry once again, in a similar situation, or even less. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, if they're faced with a certain circumstance in their life which made them angry, the next time they're faced with a separate instance, whether that instant is a greater stress than the previous one or not, they will be more angry on that one, because now they've created momentum in their anger. They've created, you know, they've accepted that their anger is okay, and, you know, it just becomes a part of who they are. It becomes their habit. And essentially what you're doing is you're programming that into your brain to understand that every time you get angry, it's okay to do that. And that just causes a lot of problems, not for yourself, but for everyone else as well, because as you go through these different bouts of emotions like that, as you come down, your emotions settle, you might be left with regret, you know, sadness. You'll have to clean up the mess you created, or some people, in some instances, they just continue being angry, you know. And these are the people who are, you know, we call them drama queens or warmongers. You know, they like that attention, and they want people to, you know, if they're angry, they want everyone else to know they're angry, and in hopes that they can collect and gather an army of supporters to, you know, fight for their cause and stand by them. And, you know, I'm angry for this reason, and this person agrees with me. And it's not always justifiable, because, you know, in our mind we think it is justifiable because we're in an angry state of mind, and you can't really overcome that emotional state because you're still in it. You know, it's like Albert Einstein's saying, you know, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. You know, it's not anger that gets rid of anger, it's water. Water beats fire, right? So you have to do a replacement therapy. And I always talk about replacement therapy, like, you know, when we're talking about people who smoke, you know, they don't just do it cold turkey. You know, their last cigarette is put out, and then they replace that habit with something else. It could be something else. It could be meditation. You know, it might be exercise. You know, so they don't just stop smoking because every part of their life is a trigger to make them start smoking again. Either it might be that one full meal or that one beer. You know, they have that tendency to have a cigarette with. You know what I'm saying? So what we're doing is we're doing replacement therapy. So at the moment you feel that you start to have anger, you want to replace it with a nice preferred emotion. Now, a lot of people might think, well, if I'm angry, I can't be happy just like that. And it's true, I can understand that, because once you're mad, right? But your emotions run a course in time, just like humans or any living being. You know, we start from infancy and then we go out to, you know, maturity and decline, right? So what you want to do is catch these emotions in their infancy, right before they're about to take off and grow. Because the moment they start to grow, they start to take on momentum, and they have a life of their own, and you're at their mercy now. So what you want to do is you want to catch it right before you put enough energy into it where it becomes life. So, you know, just redirect your emotions, start to think of something else, start to see, like, you know, just take that split second to breathe and to calm yourself, and just allow yourself to just let go. And the beauty of that is, one is that you don't have to deal with the repercussions of being angry and the aftermath and all that stuff. Two is that you're actually reprogramming or rewiring your brain. So every time you resist the urge to be angry and act out in such a way, your brain is starting to understand. It's like, okay, so I don't have to be mad. So the next time you're faced with a similar or different circumstance, you're not going to have to come to that level of anger. You'll be like, okay, so now you start to perceive your existence and your reality of existence with a little bit more calm state of mind and love. So it's actually benefiting you. It's benefiting you from not having to clean up your mess, and secondly is benefiting you because you're reprogramming your brain not to be angry. Because if you notice, a lot of people who are angry, they have a tendency to get angry a lot. You look at these people like, why are you always angry? They're like, oh, because the world makes me mad, and this person did this, and they'll try to justify it, and there's not really any justification. You don't need to get angry. You know, you can't think clearly, and the decisions you make in such a high tempered emotional state, it's not going to be clear. It's not going to be a good outcome. So, you know, take a chill pill. Be calm. Anyways, I won't give you too much information. I got a lovely blog you can check out on my website, and it's called www.paulniger.com. My last name is spelled Nijar. See ya.